13, in the last session, that 18 chapters were divided into 3 Shatkams. First 6 chapters are called, the second 6 chapters, 7 to 12, is called Madhyama Shatkam, and the last 6 chapters from 13 to 18 is called Antima Shatkam or Charama Shatkam. So we discussed that each Shatkam has got 3 important messages to convey. In the first Shatkam, we had Karma Yoga, we had self-effort, and then we had Jiva Swarupam. What is our identity? Our biodata. So Jiva Swarupam means the essential nature of our Jiva, our Swarupam. Then in the next Shatkam, Madhyama Shatkam, we had Upasana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, then the grace of Bhagavan, Anugraham, and third, Ishvara Swarupam. Ishvara Swarupam, that is the cosmic identity. Then we come to the third Shatkam. Here also we have 3 important messages to convey. One is Jnana Yogam. Second is Satgunas, values. Because once we have the values, that converts into Jnanam. And the third most important aspect is what is the relationship between Jivatma and Paramatma. That is Tat Tvam Asi. That is a Mahavakyam. So Tvam is about us, Tat is about Ishvara, and Jiva Brahma Aikyam. On the face of it, we will say that how can these 2 things can be equated? For that, I gave an example of an equation. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7 is equal to 9 minus 2. All the figures are different, symbols are different, but the essential result is same. So similarly here, our essential nature is consciousness, Chetana Swarupam. Bhagavan's essential Swarupam is conscious Swarupam, Chetana Swarupam. And between the 2, if you remove the upadhis or impurities, then essentially we are one. That's how the Jiva Brahma Aikyam is coming. So this is the most important message in this 6 chapters starting from 13. He slowly develops, because initially we will not be able to accept this because it is too much a thing to digest. But slowly he introduces to that Aikya Swarupa, Aikya Jnana. Now we go a little more deeper. Each jiva means he is talking about us. We are comprises of two components. One is inert aspect, achetanam, inert aspect. The other is chetana aspect, sentient object. One is chetanam, the other is achetanam. When I say achetanam, if the consciousness is removed from us, we become a dead body. We are not aware of anything what is happening to that body. The body can be cremated, can be burned, it can be buried, or it can be given to the hospital for medical students to examine, but nothing happens to us. That is called achetanam. And chetana means we are live bodies. So that means we are comprising of chetanam and achetanam together, a combination. I won't call it adulteration, but it is a combination. Chetanam alone will not be able to function. Achetanam will not be able to function. But if they join together, then they will be able to create this world, these objects for us to enjoy. So a mixture of Chetana, Achetana, Swarupam is what the world is, what we are. Okay. Now, when it comes to matter, Chetanam, Achetanam is called matter. Matter means it is not sentient. So Achetanam means matter. And in the matter, everything is included. Whatever we are experiencing, there are two different people. One is an experiencer, the other is experienced. So experiencer is the consciousness and experienced is the objects. That is matter. So a mixture of these two is what we are. Achetana, Chetana, Tattva. A boy, 5-year-old boy, the father took him to an ice cream shop and he gave him, ordered one ice cream, and the ice cream was given to him in a cup. So the boy thought ice cream means the cup and what is contained in that cup. After eating the ice cream, he threw the cup in the garbage bag. So as far as the child is concerned, the boy is concerned, when he says ice cream, it is the cup with some contents inside. But it will take some time for him to understand that cup is a holder, container. So if the container is not there, the ice cream cannot be supplied. Similarly, we have a body, gross body, this Shariram, which is made up of Panchabhutas, 5 elements. And a combination of this Panchabhuta is this Sthula Shariram, gross body. again, the mind has come from the Sukshma elements of the bhutas. And then the causal body, Karana Shariram. So that means all these Stula, Sukshma, Karana Sharirams are nothing but Achetanam or matter. Like I told you about the ice cream and the cup. This much we can understand. If the container is not there, the Chetana Surupam, consciousness cannot be manifested or cannot be felt. So that means if the world has to exist with the objects, a consciousness, Chetana Surupam is required. That mixture is the one which is creating this world, Jagat, or this body, or this universe, or all the objects we are enjoying. So that means each one cannot remain separately, independently, without the support of each other. So here Krishna says, Arjuna had a doubt because Arjuna has listened to 12 chapters so far. But still, his confusion and conflicts are increasing. So in the 13th chapter, starting with Arjuna Vacha, that sloka is not there in the original text because Shankaracharya has not given a Bhashyam for that particular sloka. That means it was not there. But it was a later on addition. So the book I have given from Chinmaya Mission contains that Arjuna Vacha sloka is there. But that sloka is good for us because Arjuna wants to clarify 6 jargons. So I read out the sloka. Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Ata Trayodashodhyayaha. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Idam Shariram Kaunteya. Kshetramit Abhidiyate. Etadyo Veti Tam. Sorry, this is not the. I'll read. Arjuna Vacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetratnya Mevacha Etat Vedudumichami Jnanam Jnayam Cha Keshava. This is sloka number 1 of 13th chapter. Arjuna Vacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva. 2 words, Prakriti and Purusha. Kshetram Kshetratnyam Eva. Kshetra means field. Kshetratnyan is the one who knows the field. Etat Vedutu Vichami. I want to know. Vedutu means I would like to know. Ichami. Also Jnanam Jnayam Cha Keshava. So the 6 jargons are Prakritim Purusham pair. Kshetram Kshetratnam is a pair. Jnanam Jnayam is a pair. That means he has carefully listened to the Bhagavad Gita, 12 chapters. Otherwise, it is very difficult to suddenly come up with such questions. Generally, in the second sloka, Bhagavan is talking about Kshetram and Kshetrajnam as the first pair. See, he is not taking the same order. Prakritim, Purusham Chaiva. No, he is not taking that. Second is Kshetram and Kshetrajnam. Second pair. And then last pair is Jnanam and Jnayam. According to Lord Krishna, even though there are 6 jargons, words, technical words he has used, in Sanskrit it is called paribhasha. That we are also using in our normal day-to-day objects. For example, in the economics, we have a word called inflation. The meaning of inflation, everyone knows. The cost of living goes on increasing because of the inflation. So that is one literal meaning. The other is, suppose I have a tire, rubber tube, and I have to fill in air. There I also say, I will inflate my rubber tube, car tire. So you see the meaning different. And the term we are using in the economic side, inflation, is cost of living going up. Inflation. But dictionary meaning will be to pump air into the tire. So similarly, the meaning here is Kshetram and Kshetrajnam. Kshetram is Achetanam, that is not sentient, no life in it. And Kshetrajnam is one who knows the Kshetra, one who knows the objects. If I say a word fan, or a cricket ball, so that word has got a meaning. Without the meaning, the word cannot be formed. If I say fan, that means there is an object called a fan. If I say ice cream, there is an object called ice cream. But we are using a daily umpteen number of times a word called aham. Aham, nan. I am. This word, we are using it all the time. But if we are using that word, then there should be an object. Like I said, when I say fan, an object is there and the word is fan. So similarly, when I say aham, that means there should be an object. But we are confused. We use aham without knowing what is aham. Aham means I am using my body as aham. I am using my mind as aham. I am using my ego as aham. I am using my intellect as aham. Because aham is intimately connected with our body, mind, intellect, ego. So when you go to your doctor, my head is paining. What is the head? Head is a matter. Of course, life is there. That's why you are able to feel the pain. So the doctor examines you and gives you one pill or tablet to take it for 3 times a day for 4 or 5 days, and also give some restrictions on the food. but he is not able to find out. That means doctor says headache means you got a pain in the head, but you do not have pain. You, that I, that who is that I? That means we all the time mix the I, the essential meaning with, as I told you, the ice cream container and contents. So the contents and container are mixed together. That's why we say I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. It is very difficult to grasp it, but we'll have to do a lot of contemplation of this. Now, when I understand about aham, three possibilities are there. Sometimes I know the correct meaning. If you go to a jnani, when he says I am, he is very sure that he is not the body, he is not the mind, he is not the intellect, he is not the ego. Manobuddhi ahankara chittani ragam. So he knows very clearly. And who are you? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. So that means he is very clear about I. Correct meaning. The second person, he does not know anything or wrong understanding. So the first one has got correct meaning. The second aspect is totally misunderstood. And the third is 50% correct and 50% wrong. So 50% correct and 50% wrong means half correct and half misunderstood. So when I use aham, there is a correct element and there is a wrong element. And the correct element is called atma and the wrong element is called anatma. So these are the technical terms. Atma, anatma. Atma is your original swarupam. That's why we call it Jivatma, Paramatma. So Jivatma, Paramatma means our essential nature. When I use Anatma, they are matter. It is a lifeless body. You will say there is life in us, in all of us. Yes. How long? As long as reflected consciousness is there, you are alive. Once the reflected consciousness goes off, like in a mirror in the sun, if the mirror is removed, the sun will remain as it is, but the reflection on the mirror is not there. So that means when I say 50% correct, 50% wrong, you have a consciousness in you and you also have a matter in you. So when I am mixing these two together and I call it as I am a human being, I am a lady, I am a male, I am an engineer, I am a doctor. So that means the confusion takes place. This is common in all our daily transactions, like where many people know adulteration. In atta, they adulterate. In butter, they adulterate. In ice cream, they adulterate. So because cheap things are available, mixed with costly items, like our ornaments, gold. Artificial gold is available, plenty of these things. So that means we are comprising the two components called Atma and Anatma. If Atma is connected with Jiva, that is the individual, and we are called Jivatma. And if Atma is connected with cosmic, totality, macro, and that is called Paramatma. So Jivatma, Paramatma. Atma is common. So you remove the Jiva and you read the Para, then Atma. That is the essential nature. When I say Aham Tat Tvam Asi, that is a Mahavakya. Tat Tvam Asi. Now I am equating. I am myself and Bhagavan. We are one and the same. When I look from essential nature. So essential nature, we are one and the same. That is the reason why in the first 6 chapters he has talked about individual, Jiva. And in the next 6 chapters he has talked about Ishvara. Ishvara Swarupam, Jiva Swarupam. Now he is making it, there is no difference between the two. It is only the upadhis, the dressing. The dressing is totally different. If you remove the dress, see, for example, you are acting in a drama. Suppose you are given a role of a prince. So they give you that costume. You wear that costume, you become a prince or a king. But after the drama is over, you go to the green room, remove your dress, you are back to original. And this is what is happening as Jivatma and Paramatma. So Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam, Jnanam is called Mahavakyam. Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam is called Mahavakyam. Every Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad has got Mahavakyam, that is Tattvamasi, then Aham Brahmasmi. So these are all, the Mahavakyam Upanishad is nothing but we have to get that Brahma Jnanam, that me and Brahman, we are one and the same. But today there is a distance. There is a distance between me and Bhagavan. In the 12th chapter, there is a Bhakti Yoga. So he said, Parabhaktar. Who is a Parabhakta? A devotee very dear to Bhagavan. A devotee very dear to Bhagavan. Who is that? See, we all go to a temple. We worship Bhagavan. In the 7th Artharthi, Jignasu, Mumukshu. I mean, when you are in problem, when you are not well, when you are sick, at that time you go and pray because you want relief from that sickness. When you go on to get some pleasurable gadgets or money or whatever it is, again you go to Bhagavan, pray for it. Then the third type is Jignasu. He wants to know who is Bhagavan. He is little more enlightened in the ladder. Then Mokshu, he wants liberation. In the 7th chapter, he has used 2 terms, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. Apara Prakriti means all the objects in the world, it is termed as Para Prakriti. And Apara Prakriti is all the objects. And Para Prakriti is the divine aspect. Similarly here, there is a term used in 12th chapter in the Bhakti Yoga. 12th chapter is called Bhakti Yoga. Parabhaktan. You might have heard a word called Parabhaktan. We should all aim to transform ourselves into a Parabhakta. Who is Parabhakta? As I told you, Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, Mumukshu, they are also Bhaktas. But they are all Aparabhaktas, not Parabhaktas. Because they are waiting the Bhagavan to look at you. See, Bhagavan is looking at various, so many people are asking him, approaching him. If you are lucky, he may probably look at you and grant whatever he wanted. They are all Aparabhaktas. When it comes to Parabhakta, Bhagavan is after them. I mean, if your devotion is supreme, Bhagavan will follow you. That is what Parabhakta. So we should all get converted into Parabhakta. Today we are all Aparabhaktas. It's a subtle difference. Subtle difference is a major difference. So that means when you become Parabhakta, that means there is no difference between you and Bhagavan. You are one and the same. That is the Aikyam. So that is Parabhakta. Then there is no second thing. That is what we have Advaita philosophy. So we should aim to be Parabhakta. And that is what, to become a Parabhakta, as we discussed in the first 6 chapters, Karma Yoga, that means do all your activities for the sake of Bhagavan, see whatever results are coming as prasada, that means your mind is purified, Chitta Shuddhi. Then in the next 6 chapters, expand your mind and share whatever you have with all your other people. That means you convert yourself from Tamoguna to Rajoguna to Sattva-guna. Sattva-guna means sharing. That is yoga. In the first, especially 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga, he said, yoga means offering everything to Bhagavan. And to attract the attention of the Bhagavan, we have the Upasana Yoga, concentration. So Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga is the ladder for stepping into Jnana Yoga. And Jnana Yoga is what? That Aikyam. That I and Bhagavan, we are one and the same. So this is the most important point to be noted in this 13th chapter onwards. And for that, he said, he has given you Jnana Yoga. What is Jnana Yoga? Sravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Your mind is already purified by Karma Yoga. Then your mind has become Ekagrita, one-pointed mind, Chitta Ekagrita. So that means you have nothing else in your mind other than Bhagavan. All the time Bhagavan's thought of Bhagavan. That means you slowly convert himself into a Parabhakta. So Shravanam, and if you listen to scriptures, you get a lot of doubts. So you have to get clearing of the doubts. All doubts has to be cleared. That means you should get conviction. Yes, I want Bhagavan only. And then we have our habits. It is very difficult to remove our habits. For that we have to do Nididhyasanam. That means like Shruti behind the music, Carnatic music. So Bhagavan's thought should be in our mind all the time. When you sleep, when you brush your teeth, when you take your bath, when you take your food, every time we should remember that I am doing all this for Bhagavan's sake. And Bhagavan is Without Bhagavan, I am nothing. I am only an instrument. I should be an instrument in the hands of Bhagavan. When he directs you, the instrument by itself cannot do any activity. If I have a knife, unless as a karta, when I use the knife, then the knife is useful. But as instrument, it is absolutely nothing. So here, if I am an instrument in the hands of Bhagavan, then I am totally free because I don't have to do anything. All decisions are taken by Bhagavan. This is what Ramana Maharshi was all the time telling him, find out who you are. When he says, I am having pain, then Ramana Maharshi will ask you, who is having pain? The body is having pain. Don't mix I and body. So the one who knows the kshetra, the field, objects, and the one who knows the objects, that is kshetrajna. If this division is known, kshetrajna vibhaga yoga, that is the 13th chapter. The name of the 13th chapter is kshetrajna vibhaga yoga. So if I know the distinction, I am different from the body, I am different from my mind, I am different from my intellect, I am different from my ego. But today there is an adulteration of these two, superimposition, one on the other. So that clarity has to come. So that is what he says in the 13th sloka, in the first sloka. Arjuna is asking, what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, what is Kshetram, what is Kshetrajna, what is Jnanam, and what is Jnayam. Now he is talking Kshetram and Kshetrajnam because he is identifying the Kshetram with our body. Because we are all deeply attached to our body. Now, why it is called Kshetram? That is also, there's a meaning there. Kshetra means he has given about 2 or 3 meanings for Kshetra. Sharanat Kshetra. Sharanat Kshetra means it decays. Every moment our body is getting old, aged, because decay. Because we are all comprised of cells. And initially, up to the age of 40, even if there are toxic cells, it will remove that decayed toxins and then it will regenerate into new ones. But that process slows down as your age goes after 40. So that means your immunity level is very low. And for that, you have to be very active. As long as you are living, the body has to be kept in good condition as far as possible. Like, meditation, japa, yoga, asanas, and keep your mind free, chitta shuddhi. So and then you should be aware that I am not the body. So if you are not the body, then you will not spend too much of time on looking after the body. And that is why Krishna says, Kshetram is equivalent to body, Sharira. Because Sharira also goes on decaying. Shiryamanam Shariram. That means every day the body is decaying. So some people totally become incapacitated even at the age of 50, 60, 70, 80, it all depends upon the build of the person, the habits of the person. If you have got yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogi bhavati dukkha. That means if we are living in a moderate manner, then our body can be prolonged. But you cannot, up to a limit, we can prolong, not after that, beyond that. People will say, yes, medical science has advanced. Yes, medical science has advanced up to a certain extent only. When they put you on ventilator, the doctor says, call everybody whom you want to call. Because if I remove the ventilator, the fellow is gone. At that time, you are not aware of what you are. These are all extreme cases. But if you totally dissociate with your body, then that thought will never come. I am not the body, then why should I worry? If something happens to a neighbor, that is news to me. But the same thing happens in my family, then that is an accident to me. So that means we have different perspective with regard to me and with regard to others. So that difference has to be removed. That is what is called a sattva guna. We should treat everybody as equal. Because you have an Atma, I have an Atma. There is no difference between your Atma and my Atma. But superficially, we are different because you are a well-to-do person. I am not that well-to-do. You are a healthy person. You got a good family. You got a well-knit understanding. Yeah, but that is also because of your prarabdha karma. So that means here, that is one meaning of kshetram. The second meaning is Chiyate iti kshetram. Chiyate means, again, wear and tear. So that also takes place in the body. Same thing happened to Sharira. Then next is Shatatranat kshetram. Shatatranat. Shatatranat means it has a protection system. The body, how does the body come? Because of the punya papa. So if I have more punyam, then I will be doing good karmas. And then I get jnanam, jnana yogam. Because I am aware that I am not this body. So when that tattva jnanam comes to me, then I can go towards moksha. And that is possible only for human beings, not for animals. Other than human beings. So human beings, once you get a janma, narajanma, that is maximum, uttamam they call it, because in narajanma, you have two routes. One, you can go down to animal life. The other, you can go to moksha, liberation. So, shatatat, shatatranat. The last meaning for kshetra means a field. Agricultural land is called a field. Kshetra. And the farmer knows that kshetra because he knows. So what does he do? Before sowing the seed, he prepares the ground. He loosens the sand, soil, then he puts some fertilizers or whatever it is. Then he sees the seed and then he gets the crops. Similarly, in our body, this body we got it because of punyam and pavam. And this body converts that punyam in pavam, like sowing the seed, into sukha, dukkha, happiness and sorrow. So for that conversion, you need a body. And that is this sharira, kshetra. Another meaning for sharira is it can be burned, it can be cremated. That is also Sharira. I don't get the Dahana Yogyam, they call it. Deha, Dahana Yogyam. So Dahana Yogyam means the body can be burned. So all these, once we know Nyayam, then we are in the right path. So that's what he says here in the second sloka. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Idam Shariram Kaunteya. Idam Shariram means this body, the body which I have now, this body, Kaunteya, Arjuna, Kshetramit Abhidiyate. People understand as Kshetram. So Shariram and Kshetram, since we are very close with Shariram, that's why Krishna took this Kshetram, Kshetrajnam pair in the beginning, instead of the order in which Arjuna asked the question. Etadyo veti tam prahuhu. Etadyo veti, the one who knows, he is a Kshetrajna. That is, Kshetrajna is told by Tadvidaha, the one who knows. So that means we have Kshetram and Kshetrajna, which is Atma and Anatma. If I know the difference between the two, if I can discriminate using my Viveka Buddhi, discriminate, then I am an enlightened person. So that's what he says in the sloka. See, Bhagavan Uvacha, Idam Shariram Kaunteya, Kshetramiti Abhidiyate, Etadyo Veti Tam Prahuhu, Kshetrajna Idi Tadvitaha. Now, there is I told you that Chetanam and Achetanam. Chetanam means consciousness. And in other words, we call it a subject, object. Object is all what we see, what we perceive outside. So subject is called illuminator, enlivening principle, and that is what Krishna is talking about, Kshetrajna. There is only one Kshetrajna, whereas so many Kshetras are there. See, there are so many people. According to Sankhya philosophy, as many people as there are, so many Atmas are there. But in Advaita, there is only one Atma which is exists all pervading in everyone. Initially, my understanding is I am this body with an Atma. I am this body with an Atma, because he knows he is alive, sentient. And then he converts himself into all the bodies have got Atma, same Atma. Again, he transcends himself into, as he goes on getting the knowledge, that I am not this body, I am Atma, that is, I am consciousness, and I am consciousness with an incidental body. Incidental body means by error I have taken this body as myself. That is the ultimate jnana. So the consciousness, what is the various factors of the consciousness? He says it is not a part, a product, or a property of the body. So we all have consciousness. So please note very clearly that it is not part of you, it's not a product of you, and it is not a property of you. You cannot claim that this consciousness in me is mine. No, that consciousness is common to everybody. Second, that consciousness is an independent entity which pervades the entire body, makes the body, inert body, into a sentient body, deha vyapti. So that means that consciousness is pervading from the toe to the top head. If I use a pin and prick you, you are able to see feel the pain all over the body. So that is the proof for the consciousness. If the consciousness is not there, you will not pain. Pain will not be known to you. Then the next is the consciousness is not limited to the boundaries of the body. If I have the body, then don't think that the consciousness is only surrounding my body, but no, it is beyond the body also. And next, it continues to exist even after the body dies. So once the body is gone, consciousness is not gone. It's not going. It's not getting dead. It's like electricity. If your bulb in the house is fused, you cannot say electricity is not there. Put another bulb, the glow comes again. So same thing with the consciousness. And the surviving consciousness after destruction of this body, after destruction of the body, is there, but we don't have a manifesting medium. If the medium is there, it will manifest, like the bulb. If you put another bulb, it exhibits. So that means the consciousness has that 5 principles. If I take the sunlight during daytime, you put 2 of your fingers. So one finger gets sunlight, second finger also gets sunlight. What happens in between 2 fingers? Is there sunlight or not? Sunlight is there, but unfortunately, there is no transaction medium. Finger was there, you are able to see. So that means it is sarvagatam, pervading throughout all the places. That is consciousness. So in the second sloka, he says, idam shariram kaunteya kshetramit abhidiyate etadyo veti tam prahuhu kshetrakya iti tat viduhu. So that means he has now introduced kshetram and kshetrakya. Now he will use the next sloka for the Mahavakyam, Aikyam. Atma, Anatma, Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam. So that topic he will start from next sloka onwards. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.